Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero sketchbook where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Howdy everybody, it is Andy Smith, 32-year veteran of the comic book industry, now branching out on his own, doing his own thing, being his own man. Astonishing Comics, working on Core Draft, The Reckoning, in the production stage of things. It's being colored, it's being lettered. Bud Root is working on the 4-page story. So if we hit $100,000 stretch goal, we will add 4 pages to the book featuring a Bud Root original Lilith story. The man's doing great work. He hasn't done pencils and inks, interiors, sequential art in over 10 years. So check it out. Links in the description below. And let's get to the book look for the week. Pencil and Ink by Frank Cho. Now, I got this from Flesk Publications. Not when they originally put it out, but I get an email update from them, and they were having a dinged and dented sale. So you can see right here, a little bit of crushing right there. It's not that bad. And I don't know if they do the price on the book itself. $24.95 regular price. I got it for $9.95 because of that little ding and dent. So I'll take it. I love Frank Cho's work. Obviously, he draws beautiful women, but I got to be honest, I really like his superhero stuff. I'm kind of got this nice little postcard with it. Uses a bookmark. I like the way Adam Hughes draws women. Tons of artists out there. Aaron Lopresti, Terry Dotson, but I love it when they draw superhero stuff. But these guys like drawing the ladies, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this book has new art in it. I already have a few other Frank Cho art books. Now, the thing I like about Frank is he inks everything with microns, which is just very cool. And, you know, he's got the nice dead weight style going on outlines, Adam Hughes-esque. And he goes in with a thinner pen for the inside stuff. Great cross-hatching. I like how he does this little bit of red on her. He really mixes it up. Oh, yes, there is some nudity in this because it is, well, drawn by Frank Cho. So this originally came out, wow, 2 years ago, August 2021. I didn't realize it was that, 2 years isn't that old, but you know what I mean. Here's the pencils, it looks like, for the cover, as you can see. Frank's very inspired by the classic pen and ink illustrators. Line work like this dates back to the early 1900s. I think it's cool to look at. I have literally no interest in ever trying to do it myself. Just, like I said, it's just one of those things. Every artist has their knack or, you know, what they really like to do influence-wise, and Frank lets it shine through, and it's nice because he's bringing back, and he's bringing back this long forgotten pen and ink type style to a new audience. So I think that's really cool. This is cool if you ever see Frank do layouts on stuff. When he has to do something that's very symmetrical, he lays out a nice grid to get everything nice and even. So that's cool. Just the way he does wrinkles are fantastic. Just beautiful. I mean, Bride of Frankenstein. And of course, Frankenstein coming out from the back like, yo, where's my bride? So yeah, all this is inked with microns, this feathering, everything. Really cool. And we've got Nosferatu, The Mummy. I don't know if these were private commissions. I'm guessing these were private commissions that he did. My favorite is The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Love The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Just love the design of them. Still would hold up today. I don't know what's going on, if there's legal stuff or whatnot, but why this movie hasn't been remade today with a real costume like the actor wore in the movie, and it could be done better, but no CGI. It's really just beyond me. I think it would just be fantastic. Dragonite sketch. So making up a dragon there, I assume. A little Medusa action. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about turning to stone because, unless it's eye contact. If it's eye contact, I have no worry of turning to stone because I wouldn't be looking at her eyes. We'll just leave it at that. If it's just looking at her in general, then yeah, I'm SOL, like most of us probably are. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Cool werewolf. I love the way Frank does hair. I'm sure there's going to be some inking examples in here of the way he inks the hair and stuff. Oh, right here. Hopefully we'll see a black and white piece though, so you can see the line work he does as well. Dumb werewolf. Why would he do that to her? This is the problem with big, thick books like this. You lose a lot in the center spread, unfortunately, but I would have printed this way. It might be smaller, but you wouldn't lose all this. Oh, well. Great looking horse. Horses are not easy. And that's a great looking horse. Wow. That guy is really doing a number on him. Very cool. Just beautiful, beautiful dress. Once again, kicking it back old school with the line work and the rendering and stuff. He's done illustrations for this Sherlock Holmes group. I don't know what it's called. It might be the Baker Street, something. I don't know. But I know he's done illustrations just for them. It's really nice. I mean, I love the gray tone in it, but the face, I mean, so handsome. Just so handsome. And like this piece as well. Very well done. The ladies, though. The ladies. And Frank likes his ladies with a little meat on their bones. When I draw, I tend towards a little thinner than that. But it is sexified. I actually drew, in an issue of Wildcats I did, I had to draw Voodoo dancing on stage. And I actually drew her a little bit thicker, trying to go that little Frank Cho route. And I remember a friend of mine in the business is like, whoa, you gave her some thick legs. And I'm like, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't think you'd have the balls to say that to Frank Cho. You'd think it, but I don't think you'd have the balls to say it. Great before and after here, drawing beautiful women. Definitely a book I recommend getting if you haven't already. He shares his tips and tricks for drawing beautiful women. Dinosaur, him and Bud Root love drawing the ladies and the dinosaurs. He did a Shauna series for Marvel, which was great. Didn't get to draw that though, but really nice. Just beautiful colors here. The reflected light, nice tan line. It's just gorgeous. So guys, I will link the Flesk publication website, and you can check out to see if they still have these for $9.95, $9.99, whatever it was, if you don't care about a little ding. And if you do, they probably still have the full price ones that you can get. Would have been nice if he could have done that Shauna book and just go all out topless and stuff. Because the thing is, there's nothing sexual about this stuff. She's running around. I did a book called Jungle Lords. It was one of my first crowdfunding books. And Jungle Lords was a husband and wife. And I actually did 2 versions of the book. I did a book where they ran around in the story wearing loincloths, covering up the bits and pieces. And then I did a version you could buy where they were just naked because they're in the jungle. Why would they wear clothes? Look at that little raptor getting in there. But this is just beautiful gestures here. Great poses. And just, I love the cross-hatching that he does. This one doesn't have color credit. I don't think Frank does computer color, so I'm guessing somebody did and they just didn't sign it. One of my favorite stuff he did for Marvel, he did oh my God, what was the name of that Hulk book where it was the guy's name was Cho, Amadeus Cho. That was good. He did a Wolverine, which I thought was good, but I got to be honest, I really liked the Avenger story he did with the Sentry and stuff, which is almost 20 years old. Hard to believe. I'd like to see Frank come back and do more storytelling stuff because it's just fun. He's really good at it. He's done a couple create her own books. Skyborn was one. That was a fun story. And then Fight Girl, I believe, was the name of the other one. I just have the single issues. I don't have the trades. Frank does fantastic. This is 13 years old. Frank does fantastic colored pencil work as well in watercolor. And then one of the things that, man, he just crushes it is with ballpoint pen cross-hatching. This is all done with just the ballpoint pen. Go to Target, ballpoint pen, there you go. It's very Serpereri, is that how you say it? I'm mispronouncing the guy's name, but he's an artist from, I believe, Italy, who kind of, I remember going to the Kubert School and seeing his work, and it was very much like this. But here's the thing. I've asked Frank, what do you do if you mess up? And he's like, you don't. So, I mean, it takes a lot of practice. You cannot mess up when you're doing this because whiteout and ballpoint pen doesn't work really well. And, of course, I did ask him. I said, you know, I assume you're photo referencing this stuff. And he's like, oh, of course. You know, so photo ref, whether it's a full color photo, you can convert it to grayscale so you can see the tones to get the tones down properly. And then we've got a nice little interview here. 50 fan questions. What's your favorite color? Green. What's your favorite food? Seafood. This is the nice one. I'm not going to go through every 50, but what materials do you use when you draw a comic page? He uses Strathmore Bristol Board 300 series with vellum surface. I actually use 300 series smooth. I don't like the vellum surface. I'm kind of surprised by that with the way microns work. But he uses the vellum surface. He uses a Pentel mechanical pencil. 0.7. That's a big fatty of a lead. I use a 0.5. For pens, like I said, he uses Pigma micron pen sizes 1 and 8. So he outlines with the 8 and then does a lot of the inside rendering with the 1. Large black areas, he'll use a watercolor brush size 1 with Speedball Super Black India ink. So there you go. And it's true, to be honest, tools are secondary to skill and talent. It's whatever tools work best for you. Let's see, who is the biggest artistic influence that inspires you to this day? He says there's a lot. He can't really narrow it down. So he's going off the top of his head. Al Williamson, I know that. Him and Al actually were friends, met, traded artwork. How cool is that for Al Williamson to go, hey, buddy, you want to trade some artwork? Wow, that is freaking cool. Frank Frazetta, Neil Adams, John Buscema, Modern guys like Jeff Durow, Mobius, you can definitely see. For painting, he likes John Singer Sargent, Peter Rawl Rubens, Anthony Van Dyke, William Adolph Bouguereau, probably screwed that up, Carl Rundquist, Mian Situ, Thomas Morin is for landscape painting. And you can see back here behind him, he likes painting big. He works really large and just has painting he picks on, you know, here and there. Illustration, Norman Rockwell, of course, Edwin Austin Abbey, Alphonse Mucha, Gustav Klimt. Let's see, Brandywine guys, Howard Pyle, N.C. Wyeth. And he even goes into statues. Now, I haven't seen Frank sculpt, so who knows? Here he goes into a little bit of comic book collecting here. My prime collecting years, he says, were 83 to 90. John Buscema, Conan, Savage Sword, John Byrne, Fantastic Four, New Teen Titans, George Perez, Paul Smith, John Romita Jr., Howard Chaykin, Mike Zeck, Bill Sienkiewicz, Frank Miller. He just goes on. I mean, all those guys I loved. Frank's a couple years younger than me. I've said it on stream before. I didn't actually meet Frank personally until the year 2000. And that is the year I found out that he went to and grew up in the same town I did in Maryland. We both attended High Point High School at the same time. I was 2 years above him, so when I was a junior, he was a freshman, and when I was a senior, he was a sophomore, and you get the gist, and I never knew that. So we had the same art teachers and stuff. We've had talks about it, Beltsville and High Point and stuff. Love this. He did Liberty Meadows. It's a strip he did when he was in college, and he continued on. Image put it out as single issues, collecting Liberty Meadow strips, and then there have been a couple books as well that are sought after collecting the strips. I still have the Image comics. They were hilarious. They were really fun strips, and he won awards and stuff. Here's another very nice watercolor. You can see the Frazetta influence in the watercolor there. 2012, very nice. I've yet to actually read this, so I still have to read all of this as well. 50 Girls 50 was, I've wanted to do and still wanted to include in this short-lived 50 Girls 50 project with Doug Murray. It would have been nice to see him be able to do that. I don't know who colored this piece, doesn't say, but it's gorgeous. Looks like more promo shots for the 50 Girls 50. I want to say, was that a story that Al Williamson and Frank Frazetta did? I can't remember who wrote it, but Al drew it, Frazetta inked it. It was a short story that was, I don't know. I can't remember. Great fight scenes. You can see the Frazetta influence here in the composition and such. Very nice here, composition. I love seeing the sketches and the underdrawings. You really get inside the artist's head to see how they construct figures and such. Of course, Deja Thoris. That's just awesome. Love the nice gestural stuff here. Nice spread here. King Kong, some dinosaurs. I know Frank loves the monkeys, the apes. Great job drawing dinos. Really cool. This book is, we'll get to the final page count. We're almost up to 100 pages. So it is over 100 pages. Really nice heavy paper. It's gloss. Let's see. Skyborn, that was one of his creator-owned things, was a story he wrote right out of college. So there you go. So hopefully he will do a sequel down the road. That would be very cool. That dragon is just awesome. I believe, yep, page from Skyborn. One of the main characters from Skyborn right there. I know, it's a guy. It's not a girl. That's crazy. What's he doing? Oh, Frank also works very large. He doesn't sell his original art pages, comic book pages, but he says he works twice up. Now, if you're wondering what twice up is, that is a regular comic page is drawn 11 by 17 with an image area roughly 10 by 15. So he's working twice up, which is 18 by 24 inch paper. So, I mean, that is just huge. Especially when you look at the simple style that he has. Very cool here from Skyborn. Got a nice grid back there for perspective. Here we go, Liberty Meadows. His first foray into writing and drawing. He started doing it at school. I love Mandy wears a shirt that says Beltsville on it. That's the city we grew up in. And this was really a fun strip because he drew it with realistic human characters, as you can see, but they interacted with the cartoony animal characters, which have a very strong Pogo vibe, Walt Kelly's Pogo. So check that out. And you'll definitely see the influence there. Just really, really fun stuff. I think I drew Mandy once for, wait, is it Mandy or Brandy? Brandy. I think I drew Brandy once for a sketch at a convention for a guy. Colors on this, it's hard to read. I think it's Nell, N-E-L, Rufino, R-U-F-F-I-N-O, I believe. I'm not ready. Just gorgeous coloring there. Needless to say, Frank did do, I don't know if that's supposed to be Wonder Woman or some other type, but it looks like it. Frank did a run of covers on Wonder Woman. He's done covers for Red Sonja and Conan. One of those guys that was it like, I can go from covers to or I can go from interiors to covers. Heck yeah, and that's what he did. Which is a shame because I love seeing interiors by these guys. Hang on, I have to unfriend someone. Nice. So these are just sketch covers he did. Really nice looking. Frank always adds word balloons to his sketch covers. He's got a great sense of humor. Of course I'm freezing, you stupid peasant. I'm wearing a metal bikini in a snow-covered battlefield. Very cool. When I drew Red Sonja in the Red Sonja Claw miniseries, she was a little more athletic build, but once again, this is Frank Cho's signature body type for women. And there you go. It's the end of the book. And that is Frank Cho, pencil and ink. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this book look for the week. I'll be back next week with another book look. Grab a book off my shelf. Go through it for you guys. If it's available, I post the link so you can buy it for yourself. Until then, check out the Core Draft trailer. The campaign is still live. Hoping for the book to go to print by the end of September. The game module is being worked on with the designer to put that together. It's all coming together, guys. If you go to the campaign, it says $85,000 and change. We ran another campaign on Kickstarter, so we're over $90,000. That means everybody gets 4 playable character cards and the Shattered Reach map. And we're inching closer to the $100,000 stretch goal featuring Bud Root, 4-page Lilith story. Until next week, everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.